So with going late in the draft, how much fuel did that give you to prove yourself in the NFL?
Yeah. At that time, in the 1992 draft, there were 12 rounds. Now I think there's 7.
Yes, sir.
So I remember a buddy of mine who worked for the Atlanta Falcons. He called me in the 8th round. His name was Dave Campo. Worked for the Falcons. He was equipment manager at that time. He said, Brad, if you don't get drafted, we'd like to bring you in as a free agent. And I told him, I said, Campo, said, I didn't know how the draft worked, okay? I said, man, if I don't get drafted, I'm going home. I'm going back to North Carolina. I'm going to be a school teacher. You know, the chance of me making the team are slim. I didn't know what I was doing at that time. Well, the 9th round, the Vikings called, and I was pumped up. And so I got my opportunity, got a chance. I wasn't ready to play. And so you'll get a lot of times, by saying that, you'll get a lot of times freshmen in college now, if they don't play, they're ready to transfer. A lot of times, if, you know, a quarterback can be thrown to the wolves too fast in the NFL in your first year or two, and you're not ready to play, you might have a short career if you don't play well. So I was behind Rich Gannon and Sean Salisbury, then later Jim McMahon, then later Warren Moon. So I had a slow process, but I had a chance to learn and chance to grow and chance to develop. And I was kind of fortunate enough. I got drafted to the right place. I was hoping I would go to the New York Giants at that time. They had Phil Simms and Jeff Hostetler. So they told me they were going to draft somebody in the 4th round. They ended up drafting Kent Graham out of Ohio State. And then they took Dave Brown that same draft. And they got maybe thrown to the wolves a little bit too fast. And for me, it was a slow process, and it worked out in favor of me to go to the Vikings.
Definitely. I think some quarterbacks flourish in that situation, and other guys they don't do as well.
Yeah, and my dad always told me. He said to me, he said, Brad, it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So you're working for those moments. You know, no one sees it. The days that are off that you're throwing into a net by yourself. I'd go to a library on my own and study the playbook, and you know, I'd sit in there for 5 hours at a time with a blue pen, red pen, yellow pen, green pen, marking all the letters and what are the fronts and coverages. And so you got to prepare for those moments when they come. A lot of people, they'll complain, I should be playing. Well, I hear you, big boy, until you actually have to go in there and get it done.
Definitely. Hey, you always have to be prepared. And scrolling forward in your NFL journey, that Tampa Bay season, winning the Super Bowl, about that team, what made it so special going on that run to the Super Bowl?
We had lots of legends.
Besides
we had 3 guys.
Famers.
We had 3 Hall of Famers: Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, John Lynch. Maybe have 2 more: Rondé Barber and Simeon Rice. But there were loads of play on both sides of the ball. Those guys get all the notoriety and the attention, but that team was full of rock stars. And John Gruden came in that year, and he brought in about 15 free agents. He brought in Ricky Dudley and Ken Dilger and Joe Giovicius and Keenan McCardell and Robert Ullman, Kerry Jenkins, Michael Pittman. Like, we upgraded a lot in our talent. And so we went 3-1 every 4 games. And we ended up the season 12-4. But Gruden, he challenged our defense to make them better. We got better as an offense as the season went along. We were scoring 28 points at a clip. And so it's just a tremendous team that cared about each other and knew that it had to win if we were ever going to become, you know, the players that we want to become as far as champions. And that was the difference for us.
Definitely. Yeah. John Gruden, from a media side and a fan side, he's kind of a character for sure. How was he in the locker room with you guys?
I love playing for John. I remember the first time I met him, he's like, Brad, you know, we're going to win a Super Bowl this year. You know, do you believe me? We're going to challenge our defense. We're going to try to beat our defense every day. How are they going to stop blast off, joker right X short, 22 drive X drive halfback burst? How are they going to stop triple right F right 358 Nebraska X seam? We're going to declare war on our defense. So what it did, it made our team competitive every day. And he challenged it, both sides of the ball. And he brought in a bunch of players. And the expectations were to be great today. How can we be great today in practice? And then in the end, it'll take care of itself. And that's what happened with our team. It takes great players, it takes great coaches, and he inspired us and got the most out of all of us.